we're facing an interesting dilemma. A lot of politicians, a lot of presidents were formerly they've always hid behind their PR people and stuff. Well, this president seems to be getting people weary of him because he's too accessible. What do you think? I mean, you think
Go ahead. You know what? I think it is true. And Trump has always been his own press release person. He's better at his own press release than most people is around him.
yeah.
Trump has been his own PR person since the beginning of his time. He's the better salesperson for Trump.
Yeah, so I just maybe the superfluous to have a person who's the spokesman for this administration. I mean, I think he's
But like you said, I mean, too much of a good thing is a
yeah,
bad thing.
yeah, it does.
And that's
I mean, look at Biden. Biden, you couldn't find Biden anywhere.
No, it's
I mean, unless you found him in his bed sleeping at one in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon,
and
4 in the
did you
afternoon.
see where he went to? I don't know who won the World Cup and some English team, and they were upset that Trump was there. They couldn't understand why he was there. He was there to promote the World Cup.
right.
Right.
That's another thing is too. I was like, I don't know what your thoughts on that. I don't know. Just we kind of shot off on this, but okay, about soccer and American football. I mean, okay, when they have a World Cup for
No,
soccer,
it's English. It's European football,
well, it's but they
and
do have
American football is the only football.
okay,
Right.
Well,
It's soccer.
okay.
They
Well,
was-
so that's you make the distinction. I guess yeah, I call it
We
soccer
live in
to be
America.
confusing. Yeah,
we
I-
don't.
Yeah. Football in America is the only type of football you have. I'm sorry.
but legitimately though, soccer is actually depends more on the feet than American football, which is weird.
Yeah.
But maybe it looks more like a foot. Our ball, the ball that we use, it doesn't resemble ball shape. Actually, I don't know. It's really
Soccer is a very it's a long stretch out foot. Yeah,
It's
you
a
use
hard,
your foot. It's a
hard
hard game.
sport to play.
Yeah, it's like I think it's more challenging than our football.
No,
You don't think it's more challenging?
no.
No.
You don't think it's more challenging to run continuously?
You don't think it's more challenging to get hit by a 325 per? You're running full speed in some 300
run through a line.
I think it's like it's more dangerous, I guess, but challenging is different than dangerous. Okay, the American football is definitely dangerous. Matter of fact, I think actually a lot of the pads actually promote more injuries because they encourage to be hit harder to feel the effect.
But
gotta
you
hit 'em harder.
can't. The two sports are incomparable.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true too. I mean, it's like it's so weird that we have this. They call it football. We call ours football, and ours actually the rugby football. The ball looks more like the American football. I think it's larger, isn't it?
That's why they call it rugby. Rugby.
Just
soccer,
call it
soccer,
football. Stop calling it American football.
Okay,
It's
well,
football.
when
We're
you
in
tell
America.
okay, I get that. Okay, but
We call it soccer, football.
I remember the outrage when people started seeing soccer come in more prevalent into the American schools.
Well, I'm
They thought it was
happy, and it
communist.
should be. It's an easy sport to. What I mean is, I'm not saying it's the easy sport. It's easier to organize a soccer game than it is a football.
Oh yeah,
game
definitely.
because there's less things needed
Yeah, there's
to
like
play soccer. I mean, I'm not.
The shin pads. That's all you need.
I've watched soccer. I like watching soccer,
see football is I think it's got a
You
little
watch a
more.
lot when you're in Europe, right?
not just because of that,
Yeah,
But you got
always because of Pele. You remember
right.
Pele
I remember Pele.
doing the bicycle kick?
no, that was
They really tried to push soccer when we were
Right.
younger. Remember?
right.
Right.
They brought in Pele. I forget what the other South American teams were and different things. It was a big deal in the 1970s, early 80s.
Yep.
And I say Flint schools had some schools had it. Some of the schools like where I went to didn't have it. I don't remember Central having a soccer team.
We had soccer at school I went to.
Would you?
In a
Yeah.
private school, we had soccer, and they brought Pele in and taught us some stuff.
Yeah, Pele was big when we were growing up.
No,
Remember?
we didn't know how to do that. We didn't know how to do the.
Well, it's
bicycle
illegal
kick.
now, I think, to do
Yeah.
the bicycle kick.
Right.
It's like no, but
Back then we didn't know how to do it.
all I know is I tried to play soccer when I was a kid, and I was a fat kid, and it was
You need endurance.
it's endurance. It was I was wiped out within a few a couple of runs around the
Well,
yard.
I mean, I've always people wonder, well, it's only it's 90 minutes, but 90 minutes of straight running.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's physically exhausting. American. I mean,
But like I said, you can't compare the two.
no, I mean, yeah, because ours I think depend more on strategy to move the ball. The other one, you just kick it around until somebody gets it, so they can actually score. Whereas football team, there's like a plan behind it.
Football.
Yeah, football. Okay, we're okay. We don't. Football is going to depend on a totally, different They have strategy. They don't see the strategy, and maybe there is. But,
There
maybe
is strategy
in soccer
Yes,
as much as football.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Just to me, it just seemed more random. That's what I.
No, no, they're pushing it a certain way. They're looking at their opponents. They want, just like in football, where they watch the tapes to see the weaknesses in the
Right.
team that they're playing. They do the same thing for soccer.
Yes, I never knew that much of the analytical part. I just knew that it was people I knew who played soccer usually in better shape than people who played football.
Like
You
your
know?
striker,
No.
your striker needs
It's
to know what's going on.
you can't you again, you can't compare the two. You have to be a different type of player to play a running back than you do defense or the center or the quarterback.
So you think maybe, or if you want to use a term now for Americans, more inclusive. Football is more inclusive because it takes different types
No,
of what?
no.
Hmm.
I'm
Okay.
just saying that
They
you
take a
you
different
can't
skill
you
set.
can't compare football with soccer. It's completely different. What I mean, because you also need endurance to play football too.
They take a different skill set.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It just
Because
like,
because skill set with soccer, you've got to think longer, bigger. You got to think bigger, bigger field.
right. Yeah,
Right.
It's a huge
Football,
field.
you're thinking 5 yards, 1 yard, 10 yards,
right.
right? And you're not looking at that with the soccer. You're thinking overhead. You're thinking different things like that. You're looking more like hockey. If you're looking at, if you're looking at terminology, right?
Right.
You're looking a little bit more like that. Not exactly like that, but you are. So you're looking at your halfbacks, fullbacks coming back, right? Your striker, your different things like that, right? That's your striker is kind of controlling where that ball is going and different things like that to get to the shot. And then the goalie, it's a 1-on-1 against the goalie. And all you're trying to do is break toward the goalie. The whole thing with the football is you're trying to get your whole team down the whole thing and you got lines against you. That's the difference. The difference is you have a line that you have to break through every single time. You don't have anyone at that other end that you have to get through. Once you break through that line, you're done. You're off to the races, right? You can do that. So football is a lot harder because you got to keep breaking. It's a lot more physical.
I just don't want people to beat us up in the comments. We're not comparing football.
It's
to
just two
soccer.
different.
Well, I think you made that point. I mean,
It's two different physical. It's two physical different skill sets you have to come up with.
yeah. See, like I said, what I always saw is that there's combating.
Okay, it's like drinking beer or
Drinking wine.
drinking wine or drinking whiskey.
Yeah,
There's different.
They're
Yeah, there's
three different things.
Right.
you're a
And there's
facility.
different, and there's different types of drunkenness that comes off of it. My dad would say a beer drinker's got a different personality than a whiskey drinker, and a whiskey drinker's probably get drunk faster, so they're more belligerent. That's because his family had bars. So there is differences, of what you're
Yeah.
drinking. Yeah, I mean, how you're going to react to it. Although it's alcohol, it's the same alcohol, but
Right.
for some reason there seems to be a difference in how it hits people.
No, it's
Yeah,
just
so-
it's just different. So, but where are we going with the next one?
Well, it's
Wherever
like,
you want to go.
where do you want to go? It's like, okay, okay. We just covered when do you has this gone folded more and like the distance about we'll just bring it up briefly about the Epstein list. Have seen anybody or talked about anybody being
I mean,
upset about?
before this weekend, I didn't think it was as important as it is.
Mhm.
It's got a lot of people pissed off. What do you think?
It's got a lot of people pissed off because they didn't hold on to the promise that they were promising.
I think that's
That's where it's got
more
more people
what they're
pissed off.
pissed off about is what they said promised.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, they all promised that Bongino was beating the drum on his show every day.
And then now he's pissed to the point where he hasn't been to work since. Well, he wasn't at work after last Wednesday when they dropped the bomb, and then he wasn't working Thursday and Friday, and then the weekend he was working things out with Bondi, and stuff like that because he was
But
pissed off
Cash
at her.
Patel said if he goes, I'm leaving too.
Yeah,
So I guess disappointment. I mean, what I'm looking at it basically what Trump did and the people behind him built that up so big, and then when he turned and said that the other day,
it was frigging an interview with Sean Hannity. I can't stand Sean Hannity. That asked him and that they keep on playing about the list. He said he would look at it and he would release it if. And he
Right,
had
yeah.
some ifs and reservations when you said what they do, but of course, they take all that out of there
Right.
and just play. Yeah, I'll release it.
So all I know is I think the buildup and the disappointment when he said what he did, I think that's where the reaction is coming from more than actually the importance of the list. Because let's face it, even if it was bad people and doing bad things,
But I
there's not going to have
understand.
nothing's going to happen to them.
But I understand what he's saying. You got to have solid evidence, and that's what you need to release. You can't just ruin people's lives. That
Just because you're on the list doesn't mean you did anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
well,
because you were on a list.
well, you got to
doesn't
they
mean-
got to figure it out. But they need to release something, and I think they're good. It's an idea. The idea of a special prosecutor is a good one. And some dummy, what's his name, uh, said that he's not releasing it because he's on it. If he was on it,
oh,
Biden would have released it.
I thought. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I thought the same thing. Oh, he was on it. He was compromised. But yeah, it's repeated like over. If he was on it, the Democrats
It would have
used
been
They would have used that.
They would have figured out a way just to release his information
Right.
to the press.
Do you think there's a long-term plan? Like he did this to probably pull people out of the woodwork or something like that? Do you think there
No,
might be a long-term plan to it? Or?
I don't know. I honestly think he doesn't care about it.
I think the thing is what you
And
said
he
last
didn't
week.
think other people cared about it as much as they do. But now, after Charlie Kirk had the turning point over the weekend and everybody unleashed,
Yep.
I think he knows
Marjorie.
it's important and probably something's in the works right now. They'll figure it out.
Marjorie Taylor Greene came out. That
Mm.
these are some of his hardest hitting generals
Mm.
coming out for him. Or coming out saying, "Hey, listen, you got to release this." And I think the thing is that that's got to be the thing that's going to be done.
I hope so because I mean I don't know what is in it. Now I want to see it.
But I'm with you. Nobody's going to be held. How many years? We're talking.
Who gets held accountable?
We're talking about this happened in the early 2000s.
Right. A lot of them are dead. Might be dead or close to.
But what I'm saying is, how long is the statute of limitations on a lot of these things? Like Hillary Clinton's, a lot of the things she did, it ran out already.
So there's certain things that there's only a few things that don't have a statute of limitations. A few crimes, unfortunately, but and also fortunately, because you never know what side you're going to fall on. You might inadvertently do a crime and you want a statute of limitations imposed. But
look at Adam Schiff. Look at Adam Schiff's thing, where it's him being set up for this, not set up, but for him doing this fraudulent thing.
The China thing.
No, he just did
or Russia. I'm sorry, it wasn't China.
Well, he did his Russia thing, and he's like, "Oh, look at how nobody's above the law." Well, then he goes out and breaks the law when it comes to home mortgaging. He decides to go buy a house in Maryland, which is fine, but he tries to get a better rate in Texas and become a resident in Maryland, but run for California as a California resident.
Yeah.
So you can't do
Well,
both.
they all do it.
Yeah.
I mean, even here, John can tell you that we brought some information saying that this person didn't live in our township, well, my township, to the clerk at the time, and he said, "What do you want me to do?" He rattled off like 10 names that didn't live in
the townships
in the city of Flint.
yeah. Say like we mentioned that the other day to a city councilman. I don't like the guy. He was a city councilman. He and his family were living in Davison, and he was still the city councilman for a ward, the third for one of the wards here. And and he's still the. Then it got word out that he with the past year and a half, people living in Davison.
He just didn't run again.
Yeah, he just didn't run again. Now he's some
term out.
Now he's some kind of officialdom there in the state and the place he moved into. He just wanted to get into politics. That's all it was. But that's like let's face it. Hillary Clinton moved to become the New York senator. She never lived in New York.
No, she lives in Arkansas.
So it's in New York, and she lived in Illinois. Where she was born. Let's face it. Everybody is like what they call a carpetbagger. That's to be American
And they
politician.
take care of one another, whether the Democrat or
Republican.
But the whole thing is like Mendez is the only person that actually went to prison because they actually had to find the gold bars in his coat.
Right.
They actually had to find him, and actually he's going to get away from that. That's the only way you can do it. Is actually you have to find him with a gun in their hand, shooting somebody, and then they might possibly prosecute somebody.
Yeah, just face it. Law enforcement, especially on the federal level, they're not out there to protect the general public.
Nancy Pelosi's husband in the Hammer incident.
Yeah.
How does that even?
That was never even really investigated.
Not really, no. I mean,
I
it's just
mean, they get over like fat rats.
people. If you want to get away with murder, become a politician. You'll likely get away with murder. I mean, it's
You
just
do get away with murder.
yeah.
You get away with everything. You get away with prostitution. You get away with murder. You get away with child trafficking. You get away with
Barney
embezzlement.
Franks was running a gay
A gay escort service.
escort service.
Yeah, I mean, and his significant other, I guess you'd call it, who's actually running it. But
Lindsey Graham.
Look at
Well,
Debbie
look-
Sabanol. Her husband was out with prostitutes and everything.
well, come on, when you
That's different.
Well, no, that's the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I
She was
would.
an old lady.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying that's different than running
running the thing,
running it.
But I mean, the whole thing. Is,
He was the madam.
You guaranteed, they didn't do the proper
I-
reporting to the IRS.
I'm sorry. Oh, the picture of that just went through my mind. Oh
About
God.
Lindsey Graham.
no,
Oh, he didn't know.
Barney Frank is being a madam.
Oh,
Oh,
John
God.
will explain the ladybug to you
Oh,
off
Oh,
did-
God.
camera.
oh yeah, Cameron. I'll tell you that one. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we want to cover this one, but this is about it would
Lindsey
be
Graham
Lindsey
and the
Graham.
ladybug.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, we got sickening people. I mean, we really do. I mean, and they're corrupt. The thing is, a person who wants to be a politician is corrupt immediately. They know that they can get away with their corruption and further their causes. That's why they seek politics. They're not these idealists who want to save the world. No.
But what did you think about Israel attacking Syria today?
Oh, I just heard about that.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, they just bombed the presidential palace. Was in her.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, they're fine. Okay.
Not the palace. It was.
Can they
It
just
was a
stop?
ministry.
Can
The
they
med-
freaking stop? I mean, you just got out of a freaking war. Can you just stop?
They haven't got out of the war. I mean, they're I mean, the only way you
Well,
can
I
take
think it's like a ship that's sinking,
Right.
and it's on its way down, and they're like doing the final throws before it
Before
goes
they go
under.
Yeah, because what they did before, about a year ago, they actually killed another diplomat who was in Syria visiting. It was a Turkish diplomat or somebody
I
else.
remember
They
that.
killed him, which is the sovereignty of two nations being violated. And then they're going to say, we're always the victim. You're not the victim. Okay, you're not. You're going into Lebanon. You're destroying churches in the West Bank. You're destroying monasteries in the West Bank. You're destroying churches and stuff and holy places in Lebanon. How the hell are you? I'm sick of these people getting away with everything. I'm serious. I'm tired of being told I got to support Israel. They are propped up by American dollars and American lives, and I'm sick of it. They keep on. They're saying, guess what? We can do whatever we want because Netanyahu's got Trump in his back pocket. And it seems like that is the case. I mean, I'm angry about it. We can't keep on justifying what they're doing.
That's how you really feel.
Oh God, I'm not swearing, am I? That's how I really feel. That's how I really feel.
No, I feel the same way. They said, I like Dave. Have you seen Dave Smith?
Dave Smith. Yeah, I saw that.
He said not another dollar to Israel and APAC, and then he also said APAC needs to be registered as a foreign entity.
Well, like what Dave and you told me about, then you sent me the link where he's talking about it. He said basically it's like Israel's like a friend you're hanging out with. You go to bars, and that friend is constantly encouraging you to get in bars and fights and get into legal issues, and then
Right.
just keep on doing it. That's what Israel is. Oh, you can't betray us now. You're an anti-Semite. No, you're doing obnoxious actions that violate every law, constitution, a law of the international set law of laws, and you're exempted from being prosecuted under that.
And then if you say anything, you're an anti-Semite.
Yeah, I guess you just have to run the risk of it. Okay, you're an anti-Semite. Wah! Okay, I'm not going to be feel bad.
Don't do that one.
Crybaby stuff. I mean, so what? They don't like you. We don't like what you're doing. We can't point it out because of all the thousands of years of oppression. Oh, I'm tired of hearing about that. You can violate, murder people all over the globe for your state. But if anybody objects to that, they're evil. They're like, you're just supposed to let them do it. Like a rapist, you're just supposed to say something like, well, I really wish you wouldn't be that aggressive.
Well,
That's just ridiculous.
I forget what the actor's name is from Princess Bride who played.
Oh, Mandy Patinkin.
Did you see?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
He went out into other Jews saying that we need to stop this madman.
Yeah, because he's Jewish. He's very proud. He wants to see Israel succeed.
And I do too. I mean, I don't want to see Israel go under.
I mean, no, face it.
I don't want to see any country go
Every
under.
Jewish person I talk to, a person says they're tired of all these wars.
Well, the thing is, he's only in power because of the War Powers Act.
Right. I mean,
he was going to get
voted out.
He was going to get voted out of office before this magic happened on October 7th.
Right.
It just, I mean, it's like, we just can't sustain this anymore. I mean, I heard a rumor. I trusted it out, and I hope it's not true. And it's allegedly it's not so far, but they allege that Ted Cruz is still pushing for like $250 more million to go to Israel. Luckily, it hasn't panned out to be
But the
legitimate.
thing is,
Why?
could you think of, man, if they just spread the 250 million throughout the states,
Right.
That would be
how
something
much
that would-
better things would
Well,
be
well, let's
if
face
if they gave us those $3 billion a year and took care of your own people
That's
at
what
home.
I'm so sick of hearing. Well, that's just the drop in the bucket. I'm
A
sick of
drop
hearing
in the
that. I'm
bucket,
sick of hearing that.
No, it's
Dropping a
not.
bucket here would be great. You
Right.
know what? Enough drops in here would actually fill this bucket.
Right. That's well. Since a water crisis and a leaky faucet, and how quick that adds up. I could attest to you. A leaky faucet, it does add up. All
If
right.
we're going to go with America First policies, let's stick with America First
Right.
policy. Keep everything back in America. Israel has enough money to run Israel stuff. The IDF can do their own thing.
It's just a sliver of a country. You can almost ride a bike across Israel.
Right.
Right. It's just okay. If they say, why can't they? Well, just the Arabs, can't they just leave that little tiny strip? Okay. Beg the question though. Now they're taking control. They want war with Iran. They just bombed Syria. They're not just doing that to silence people. They're going to eventually, if they want to keep that peace, they're going to have to occupy those spaces. And otherwise, and then plan in government, create a government in those.
And how are they going to
nations.
do it? They don't have enough.
Why was
people.
the bombing of Syria? What was the reason?
I don't know.
I don't
just
even
justified.
remember, but Trump came out and said that they pretty much squashed it already. That they got it under control.
Okay.
So I mean, let's face it. Even if people in the Middle East want to say they want peace, you can't just keep on poking at people and then say we're going to have a ceasefire and then break that ceasefire.
No,
And then-
because eventually what's going to happen is somebody, and if they retaliate en masse,
Yep.
it's over.
right, Iran actually had more weapons than they anticipated when they
Yeah,
started it.
I think what people are going to be upset. I think there will be a great sigh of relief if they were gone tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I was good with the Iran thing. I was very good with the Iran thing because
No.
Iran's been a coming pain in our ass for a long
No,
time.
they haven't.
no,
they haven't
haven't.
done anything. When's the last time they
They put
I
a
think
force.
they're Sunnis, aren't they?
I don't know. I mean, that you see, the thing is, okay, they've
done nothing.
They've lived by every standard and every agreement they've agreed to. Our country has not, and Israel certainly has not. So I mean,
Iran?
huh?
Iran.
Iran
We're
has,
talking
yes. Iran is a actually has every treaty they signed and every agreement they signed, they have stuck to it. Okay, we haven't, and Israel certainly hasn't.
We've stuck to it.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
You think
You think how many nations have we invaded in the past 30 years? How many nations have we done that to? Nation build. How many?
I mean, we
nations?
just left
Oh, shit.
Afghanistan.
hearing
I
about
don't know
this
if you got the pleasure of going there or not.
which one? Iran?
Afghanistan.
Oh God, no. I didn't get a chance to go there. I went to Saudi.
You see, we said, and then we were implementing like creating a standing military for them, and then it got shaky, and then under the Biden administration, he
like
yanked
it.
out
I'm
billions
sorry.
of dollars of the equipment and weapons.
That
Yeah.
was stupid on our end. That was dumb on our end.
But none of their missiles could reach us.
Bahrain.
No,
Yeah,
not this
they-
line.
they-
no.
There's nothing that they were not a danger to the United States.
They-
There's nothing they could do.
I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to piss off everybody, maybe you guys, but if I was Iran and actually look at the history of Iran and what the United States has done to Iran, I think they have been very, very, very civilized.
And they're still willing to come to the table.
Yeah, they are. I mean, let's face it. They took back in the 1980s, 70s. They took they seized our hostage. Nobody liked that, but they didn't rape and butcher them and stuff like that. They got
No.
released. All right. They maintained. They fed them. They took care of them. They didn't brutalize them. Okay. I guarantee if they were catching a bunch of Iranians in Israel, that wouldn't be the case. I guarantee it wouldn't be.
I don't know. I don't agree with that one, but we can.
Well, you can explain why you think it was good for the United States to go bomb.
Here's the deal. I think Iran has not always held up to the thing because Iran has always enriched, he's wanted to enrich the nuclear.
Oh, they.
I think the guy, listen, I think there's two parts of that story, right? And when I study the part of history with them, all right, there's two parts. There's the supreme religious leader who is a kook, right? That guy's the kook.
Who
That's
said that they cannot have a nuclear weapon?
According to the
But the
kook that you're
president, I
talking
agree
about
with.
said that no, he said they never had it. If you watch the Tucker Carlson interview, he said we didn't have it.
Then what did we just bomb that was 3,000
Because
years ago?
Israel wanted us
Yeah, because
to.
Israel wanted it, and we do whatever Israel wants. Because, like Ted Cruz said, you have to support Israel because that's what it says in the Bible. It doesn't say that, but I guess Teddy, did you ever? You went to Sunday school, Teddy? Did you ever look up in the book when they were teaching you from and see where the wording was? You didn't, did you? I already called his office and said, hey, guess what? I'll leave you my address. I'll send you a Bible with highlights of where you're supposed to read to see if you can justify what you stated. Okay, otherwise.
You're talking about the Abrahamic Accord.
What?
Correct. You're talking about the Abrahamic Accord, correct?
No, I'm talking about what Ted Cruz said on the interview with Tucker Carlson, why he supports Israel, because as a Christian, he has to support it because we're told in the Bible he has to support Israel. And
underneath the Abrahamic Accord is what he's talking about.
No, he's not.
No, he was
did
talking
not.
about the Bible.
No, he was talking about
He
the
said he
Bible.
learned it in
It's a
Bible.
Bible school, and he couldn't even quote the scripture, and it's Genesis 12, verse 3. It says it's to Abram, and before his name is Abraham, and it says, "I will bless those that bless those, and curse those that curse thee." The covenant was with Abraham, and through him and his seed, not seed. And the seed later on is spelled out in the New Testament. The seed are the believers in Christ, the Christians, the church is the believers.
Christ.
It's not the state of Israel occupied a bunch of atheistic. Actually, the state of Israel has actually started around the Soviet ideas. The idea of called kibbutz, where their farms were, that was a collective farm from the Soviet Union. That was a name they gave them.
Communist.
It was a communist idea. Okay, because the bulk of the Zionists were influenced or heavily communist initially. Okay, basically, Israel is a socialist state propped up by the United States. And I was told this by people who had lived in Israel for 10 years, Jewish people who had lived in Israel. And he said, it's tied to our economy so much. Every time our dollar goes up, their shekel goes up. Every time our dollar goes down, their shekel goes down. So basically, and they've done stuff. I mean, this guy's family had holdings all over Europe and the United States and in Israel.
Went to Europe.
Huh?
That's why a lot of people went to Europe.
Yeah, but they were like, they got out. They got out there because it was a socialist state, and it's not a democracy. It's an ethno state. You don't have freedom of press and freedom of religion in Israel as a non-Jew. So, there goes this idea. It's the only democracy in that part of the world. It's not a democracy. And we're not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. See, they try to wedge that in there and make America, you keep on repeating it. People feel like they can't question to break it down. And it is. That's very crucial. It is not a democracy. Oh, I'm sorry, I took up so much time.
No, it's fine.
I think it's ridiculous. People think that it's like, oh, it's interchangeable. No, it's not. It's a democratic form of governance. You have the rule of law, which means the rights of the individual are enshrined by the Constitution, which means you don't want mob rule, and that's what democracy can lead to.
Correct.
Right. So in 1908, Army training man used to tell the distinction. They don't do that anymore, but I guess. But this is a democracy. We're a republic, and this is why it could become mob rule.
Not taught in school anymore.
No, that's not taught in schools anymore. The thing is, because the Democrats love it. Well, we're a democracy. And what's the Democrats? Doesn't it sound like look like democracy?
And that's why you're pledging allegiance to the republic.
To the republic,
not to the democracy.
Democracy. Yeah. See, and then also you have the movies like you have Star Wars. We have I'm standing for democracy. Well, it's like that's subtle, but it's like Hollywood's influence on their audience to believe democracy is always preferred. Guess what? In some instances, People's Democratic Socialist Republic or whatever was not. They're brutal. You had no rights under those. So just because in the wording says there is democracy or democratic doesn't mean they are democratic either. No. Actually, we're less of a democratic state than we should be. We're less of a democracy in place
because politicians found out that they can write laws.
Right. See, they don't take it. We have so little. We allow them to take so much of the states' rights away. And we always have done that because it's like, and they've always used like World War I. World War I was a brief. So World War II was the catalyst for all this stuff, all the social engineering and all this stuff. Oh, we have to, for the better of the world, the better of the larger the stakes, the larger the portion of the population, the greater number. And if you don't have the individual rights enshrined, you don't have group rights. You can't have group rights.
But think about it. It started when government got involved in schools,
right,
and decided that kids had to go to school for X amount, 6 hours,
yeah,
and then have a lunch period and everything, just to mere going to work.
Right. John Taylor Gatto, he'd been elected 2 times, I think, for Teacher of the Year in New York City school system. After that point, though, he turned against the public school system. In one of his books, I can't find the quote online, and I had the book. If I could find the book, it's in there. a guy named he was one of Benjamin Rush, who was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. He stated what the purpose, what a public education is about, is to indoctrinate kids to actually they don't have loyalty to their families or idiot, but to their country first. That was already a chink. That was moving away from the founders' intent right there. And this was the signer of the Declaration of Independence. Okay, that this says this, and basically the purpose of education is indoctrination.
Right.
All education is indoctrination initially. All of it. I don't care if you go to private schools, public schools.
Right.
The kids don't have the way to analyze anything.
You
Right.
get taught.
Well, you got to remember the Constitution was written by aristocrats.
Right. They're aristocrats.
They thought they were upper class and the teetotalers and the pinky, and they were better than the common man.
But yet they have put in place things that could actually bring challenges to that. So that's a unique thing about these aristocrats that we had. They knew what the aristocracy could degenerate to because they experienced it.
Right.
Plus, they studied. If you look at it, they studied Montesquieu, and Montesquieu talks about the spirit of law, about where the corruption can arise, because he examined the Greeks and the Romans and how those republics and those empires collapsed, and that we're going through the same thing. We're going through so much parallels.
But I think we have 50 states, right?
Right.
Not 55.
Yeah, 55 or 57, like Barack Obama.
But we're so big, it's going to be hard to fail.
It's going to be awfully hard because you got pockets of resistance, and that's what the founders wanted. That's what the founders did want, because let's face it, if it was so,
well, look at COVID. That proves it.
Oh, yeah.
That states were able to function and still have good commerce, and taxes didn't go up where other states did.
I mean, I just
The
think
red states, they came back alive pretty fast. Blue
Well, there were
states,
some
it took a
blue
while.
states that did okay too.
Right.
I just say what
The smaller blue states came alive.
Yeah,
Not the
see-
bigger ones.
Yeah, so that's just, and also that by doing that, they allow people to examine and say, this is really bad because the state that did everything allowed the clampdowns, and this group that didn't is doing much better. Oh, maybe we shouldn't be so eager to please people now. Yeah, the governments.
Well, look, our state became a dictator.
Oh yeah,
And when she couldn't, she was using an old archaic law from what 1947, I think.
yeah.
And then when they took that away from her, then she just switched over to.
Is it true that she's actually under investigation right now?
Yeah, that's it's
And not
investigation. The people she signs the paychecks for. How far do you think the investigation is going to go? Sit around a coffee. Guess what? You like your job? Yeah. You like your friends and your family members having the job? Yeah. Shut the hell up. Let it go away. Get it go away. That's what's going to happen.
The Republicans in the state do nothing.
No, because let's face it, they got the goods on each other. You say, oh, you're going to bring that to light, huh? You're going to talk about what you guys did. That's all it is. Not that they're some morally superior, just one's got more on the other, and the other ones can be embarrassed. Yeah, I don't think you can embarrass a Democrat, quite frankly. I mean, I think you could say they're a pedophile and got pictures of them molesting a 3-year-old, and they'd find a way of justifying it. And the press would let them off on it,
But that camera was blurry.
That was blurry. Or this camera angle, it could ask for it. I mean, I'm
That
sure
could
they'd
be-
find a way to
Only those
justify
30 years old.
It does
looks
look
like a 3-year-old.
It
but
does
looks
look
like
at me like me, but it's just a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not too sure.
It might be my ass, but it looks a little bit thinner than my ass.
no, I don't like either party though. I mean, I'm fed up, and everybody's angry at me because I'm really kind of distanced myself from Trump, But if he starts,
Are you right now distancing yourself from Trump, or
I have some real reservations about him. Yeah, because we for one thing, we bombed. We went in there and to use those bombs to go after Iran. Didn't want to be involved at all. I don't want to be involved at all.
No, we were both mad.
I was okay.
I mean, it's like Mr. Moss was like, he was saying, well, they're threatening to use, they got the nuclear weapon. I went, they've been saying that for 30 years. They got video clips of Netanyahu and others saying, they're only a week away from having a bomb. They're only nuclear 1 week away. This is going on for 30 years. Yeah. Okay. It's like, if it happened, it happened. Guess what? I don't know how you can stop it at this point. I don't know how you can do it. Just because you can make bombs and bring them you can make them somewhere else. Maybe the country it's already been, everybody's relaxed on. They can make the bombs there, bring them there.
But I came up with something that I think is pretty ingenious.
Please go ahead. I'd love to hear it.
I leave my junk mail in the garbage in the mailbox. I don't even take it out. I probably annoys my mailman or
Probably
my
does.
mail lady.
Yeah.
But that way, when I take the trash out, I just take the junk mail out of the mailbox and throw it in the trash can.
It works a lot easier.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's a smart move. You don't have to bring it back in the house and get possibly
You know
cluttered.
what? That's a better way to do it. You
Yep.
should be doing that.
Maybe that's the one thing people should advocate. And of course, you might get a lot of backlash from mail delivers,
A
mail
new way of
carriers.
doing it. A new way of getting rid
No,
of it.
like I just got a I didn't even order the magazine. I'm not going to read Forbes.
Well, I
Oh my
don't-
God,
That's
no.
going to stay there until tomorrow, and it will be
In the
trash.
trash.
can.
It works. I'll tell Julie. We can start doing that.
Yeah, I got a magazine once. I didn't order it, and then he started giving me like,
Wait, talking about
go for it.
trash and stuff like cutting grass. Listen, if your neighbor cuts the grass, are you supposed to cut the grass the same day your neighbor cuts the grass?
Well, that's
I mean, if
usually-
I have adjoining, I mean, if the line, I think it's nice to do.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's nice, but I mean, see, I'm
Cool.
cool.
It makes your lawn but look better.
All right.
See, I got
I always thought you could cut it like within a day or two from the
Well,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got a cool neighbor. He parks in my driveway because there's shared space that's like an apartment. So he
Right.
parks his car over where I'm at, my driveway. So because of that, he mows a strip beside the between the house and the driveway. And so he mows that strip because his car is on the driveway side. So that's kind of cool. So I mean, I don't have to worry about that. And my backyard is so covered with it's like so shaded. The grass doesn't grow that far. So I'd have to cut it fewer times. So I'm lazy. Besides, they tell you to go back in nature. Don't these environmentalists tell you let your lawn become overgrown and all that.
No, mine doesn't ever get high that much, but Julie was like, you need to go cut the grass today because Kim was out cutting the front yard showing me. I'm like, wait a second, I'm not cutting the grass because the guy beside us has got all these he's got like 12 different tractors.
Mhm.
And he's retired. And all this guy does is cut his yard. I'm not joking. Every day he's on there cutting some part of his grass. I don't have time to go out there and cut the grass every day just because this guy goes cuts his grass.
Well, see, I think it is part of the social condition. Though your neighbors mowing the lawn, it's a kick to your head. Like, oh, you got to do this too. So I mean, that's social pressure. It is this peer pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's useful. I mean, I'm not denigrating. I think that in that instance,
I
it's
just got done cutting my
mild.
grass like 3 days ago.
You're
I
right.
didn't want to go cut my grass again. He was up north. I cut my grass. He came home, cut his grass, and Julie's like, "Oh, you need to cut that grass." I'm like, "What the hell?" I just got done 3 days ago. So
It's like one of those things that some people. Yeah, I got people around me who I grew up around that every day they'd have to do something on their yard. I mean, if one woman down the street from me would actually get out and sit down on the ground with manicuring tweezers and clippers
Mhm.
and clip the grass, and she'd actually vacuum her lawn.
I've heard that.
She'd
I've seen people do that before.
She'd vacuum the lawn. It was a tank top type, vacuum thing. She'd vacuum it. I mean, it was just a small yard though. It was really enclosed.
I've
by a
seen
fence.
people do that
Yeah.
before.
I mean, it's like you could have, putted or you could have played bocce ball. Well, this
I
yard is
had a
pretty small.
neighbor that would vacuum the white rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, they look nicer after it was done.
When I was a kid, a lot of the old immigrants around here would actually they'd appropriate paint from DuPont and bring it home because they worked at DuPont, and they'd paint the sidewalks and steps and stuff. And then in the summertime, every day they were out scrubbing the sidewalks. I mean, they would scrub them down, and their house was scrubbed out every day. I mean, from the living room all the way to the kitchen, it was all scrubbed down. I mean, you could always smell like disinfectant in the air. It was cool. I mean, it was like my family was never that particular about it. At least twice a week, the mopping. But man, every day these older people would do. I mean, they were so immaculate, and the rocks are always painted. It's like, well, they're rocks. What do you want to paint rocks for? Let them be pretty.
This has been a slow month. This has been a slow year.
The slow
Chocolate.
Well, chocolate, yeah.
It's gone up double too.
That's like well, now we're on the subject. Well, why don't you talk? Okay.
Well, so what do you mean it's a slow year for chocolate?
Oh, it's been so hot. I'm not joking. It's been so hot that we went to a show 2 weeks ago, 4th of July weekend, and it was melting in the bags. We had to take it down, put it in and get out of
In
there.
coolers?
Yeah, it just started. I was watching it the week we were making it as we were pulling it out. It was, and we set it into the thing before we could start breaking it up, into the bags. It would just start melting. It just like this. I'm like, oh God.
Even at the venues, like they have air conditioned venues too, most of them, right?
No, we were outside, but we were in a
that's
spot
got to
where
be hard with
we were out-
chocolate and
we were-
candy.
we were in a tent where they usually got a nice, beautiful breeze coming and everything up off the lake and everything. It's been hot. We haven't gone for like 2 or 3 weeks now because we've had to cut off all our shows because it's too hot. This has been the hottest summer I think we've had in like the last 3 or 4 weeks, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
So,
it's been pretty warm. I mean, yesterday, I mean, it's pretty warm outside today. I mean,
yeah, it's like
Ah,
87.
you're making me
90.
want to go to Frankenmuth to get fudge.
Yeah, no. Tell you
It's-
what, I would love to go, but we're working on the pretzels. We're almost there on the texture.
Now that's like,
Almost.
are you going to be making them yourself? You got another source or?
No, we're actually making them ourselves. We actually got it. We just.
But you're still doing the flavored pretzels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now group. Okay, I'll mention the name of the company.
Our Town Snacks
And
is
it's R.
R
Yeah.
TOWN snacks.com. And we're actually redoing the whole websites and everything like that. So I'm working on every part of the pictures. And so while we're slow, we're working on the whole new website and everything. Now we're actually making a new website in the behind the scenes. While we're slow, I'm redeveloping one in WordPress.
And then not only that, you're helping a mutual friend try to open a restaurant.
Restaurant,
Right, that opens up, I think, August 1st. He's opening up, and then on top of that,
Do you think it's going to open August 1st?
I'm hoping they should.
Because
and-
he told me he just got a violation. Well, he called it a violation
but it's
for
only
the event.
for the event, and then once they get that done, it should be that should be the only last thing he has.
Really?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
that's
'Cause
the only last thing he's got to get done. He said,
And then he should be able to open
because
That's-
once he gets that,
because we're going to do a show from there.
yeah, we should do a show.
You know that we were. They're gonna. We're planning on it. Matter of fact, there's an idea that maybe on a somewhat semi-regular basis, do updates there and stuff. So
I'd love to do it. And then here's the other side is that okay, so the other side is that I started working with Trade Network to help open up this area as well. So
Oh, you have to because it's so silly. We have nothing.
right. So
If we could just get Starlight, I'd be so happy.
yeah,
I want to go talk to Starlight guys.
Well, I'm just saying.
yeah, Starlight and
On Court Street.
yeah, that would be great.
they got. By the way, I've went through the whole I've had every one of their sandwich. I've tried every one of their sandwiches over the
Yeah.
years, and I've never had a bad one.
No.
Never. And they're
On Court Street.
on Court
That's
Street,
right.
yeah.
I mean,
I want to go talk to Fred at Paul's or at Freddy's. Have you been there?
no,
It used to be called Paul's.
Yeah,
no,
like,
our hangout is
the,
Starlight.
on Center. I mean, on Court Street.
I
Yeah.
want to go talk to New Beginnings today too. After you sign up, A1. Well, Steve's signing up, so you can go sign there. So I'm signing up Steve.
Who's signing up?
Steve from 810.
Munchies, yeah.
Munchies is signing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
'cause
day he opens up, you can start going there too.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, you guys don't have to worry about it, but
he already told me I have
Yeah,
lifetime.
we all have lifetime there, anyways. But
John doesn't.
yeah, you
no,
don't
I
have
guess not. Yeah.
you're not in the in crowd yet.
I'm not. No, not yet.
You have to get in the in crowd. But the other side is that we'll get some other places open. But I told Evan that I'll work over here and get everything from Benton all the way up to Roscommon opened. I'll start working on
What
that
you
too.
need to find is an automotive shop.
Landscape.
Well, I'm happy. I'll just go to Steve's restaurant and give him instead of my lifetime, I'll just give him
Yeah.
our trade bucks.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna start giving my straight books.
And you need to find a pizza place.
I'll look for pizza.
Luigi's would be
Well,
nice. Not
Latinos.
Luigi's, Latina.
Latinos is on it.
Oh.
No, it's not. I asked.
They are.
She told me they weren't. Maybe I got the wrong person.
Maybe because
No.
They're not on the. They're not in
If
the
they're not-
catalog.
If they're not, I'll go get them.
because
I'll go talk to 'em.
Latinas is good, and I love Latinas. It's,
And the bowling alley's already there. Richfield Road Mall
Yeah.
is already there, but I don't know how that works.
I'll go talk to all these guys. So,
okay. No, I'm
But
gonna.
let's end it. We talked about this off the camera.
Okay.